And then what happened?
Oh, I met this guy.
Yeah, I met this girl. 정의
Georgie.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm Jung.
I'm Georgie.
Georgie wants to talk about how she fell in love with Korean culture.
I want to tell the story about how I got interested in Korean culture because I thought it might be interesting for you guys.
When was your first time to get interested in Korean culture?
I first got introduced, not exactly culture, but some Korean people. Was in elementary school. I had 3 really close friends when I was about 11 and 12 years old that were from Korea. They were doing like a homestay program. They were the first Korean people I met, and they were really, really smart and really, really kind, and I miss them dearly. Even now I miss them. Fast forward like 10 years later when I was in university, I believe it was in 2015, but I'm not totally sure. That was the first kind of introduction to K-pop. Like, I knew what it was before, but I wasn't really, like, super into it. I saw a YouTube video of people trying to copy K-pop choreography. In that video, they had a bunch of different songs, but one of them was EXO's Overdose. And I heard the song in the video and I really liked it. So I looked up the music video on YouTube and I watched it, and it was like all downhill from there. I became like really obsessed with K-pop.
Was it different from other English pop group or?
Totally different. It was like NSYNC or Backstreet Boys, which like I listened to when I was a kid, but it was like the modernized, like cooler, like more vibrant version. Something that felt nostalgic, but like a whole new twist on it. So I think that's why it appeals to a lot of people around my age. I don't know. It's my theory anyways.
And then I remember one of your professor was from Korea.
Yeah, he is like notorious in the school for being a really hard teacher. He was like a super passionate teacher. Yeah, I just admired how hardworking he was.
You went to a Korean restaurant with him.
I did. Yeah, he took me to Gosu in Vancouver, and he paid for everything.
Oh my god.
Like he did.
Really?
Yeah, he did.
He doesn't need to do that.
I know he doesn't need to do that. That's why I admired him so much.
Okay.
He bought me food.
Actually, yeah, Korean people do that. Always old people like buy everything.
I had met other Korean people that had positive influences too, but those were the ones that really like affected my impression. I had a really, really positive impression of Korean people basically because of those people. So from there, I became like more and more interested in Korean culture. I taught myself how to like read the
Yeah. Yes, I was surprised because when I met her, I didn't expect she can read Korean or write Korean, but actually she was able to read and write Korean. Not like perfectly, but at least little bit.
My spelling is pretty bad. In 2019.
Yeah, and then what happened?
Oh, I met this guy.
Yeah, I met this girl.
So I met Jung. We went to Korea together.
Yeah.
In 2019. Wow, what a crazy experience.
She keeps saying she really wants to go to Korea, but because of the virus, I still really sad because we were supposed to go to Korea this year again. I wanted to show her like how different Korean Christmas is. In Korea, you felt so much difference compared to Canada, right?
Yeah, it was completely different. Canada is more about like
Outdoor.
Nature and scenery.
But she's a kind of city person.
Korea is like the definition of a super vibrant modern city, or at least Seoul is. The food is
Another
amazing.
level.
There's just so much variety in Korea.
Yeah.
Something else that I found really, really special was like all the historic buildings and historic sites just kind of like nestled in the middle of this really modern city.
Yeah, like a Gyeongbok Palace.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. It's like
there's so many high-rise buildings, but
we don't have a lot of historical sites like
because
that
Canada
here.
doesn't have like a long history, 150.
Yeah, Canada's only like just over 150 years old, and the history of Canada, I feel like, doesn't really belong to me. It belongs to the Aboriginal people of Canada. We don't have the same evidence of history as like other countries do. The people in Korea were a lot more warm and welcoming than I was expecting.
Yeah, I thought Korean people are a little bit shy. Yeah.
Especially your family. They were like extremely welcoming and accommodating and sweet.
I was surprised too. It was the story how Georgie became interested in Korean culture.
I hope that was interesting or enlightening for at least a couple of you.
If you're not from Korea and if you're interested in Korean culture, let us know why you are interested in Korean culture, like how you fell in love with Korean culture.
Yeah, we're really interested to hear your stories as well, so please leave them in the comments down below.
Press the like button and subscribe us.
Yes, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.